Hi everybody, welcome to my channel today. If you are new, welcome. Hello, my name is Justine. I am 40 something and I live on the west coast of Canada, and I post about 2 or 3 videos a week. Beauty, lifestyle, a little bit of travel. I do a lot of beauty hauls and skincare, things like that. If that's something that interests you, then please hit the subscribe button and be part of my family. If you're one of my regular subscribers, hello and welcome back today. So I am back. I have been away for a little while. I did a lot of pre-filming before I went away, but now I am back. We went on a European vacation, a road trip, and today's video I thought I would share with you guys my makeup bag that I traveled with. I was going to do it before, and then I thought, you know, I should probably do it afterwards and let you know what worked and what didn't. So just to give you a bit of background, we were doing a road trip. And that meant I had to travel light because we were moving hotels sometimes every day, and we were traveling between 3 and 6 hour drives a day to get to the next destination. So my makeup had to be quick, it had to be easy, and it had to be long lasting because I didn't want to be fussing with makeup. And then I also didn't really need anything particularly fancy because, as I mentioned, we were on a road trip. We weren't going to any fancy dinners or events or things like that. It wasn't like a cruise or Vegas or something. So I just wanted very simple, minimal makeup where I looked half decent, but I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time fussing. So some of the things worked, some of them didn't work, and yeah, so let's go from there. And I just also want to quickly add, I did pack actually really well as far as the clothes went, even though they had a huge heat wave. So I probably would have brought a few more cooler clothes, maybe a little bit more Lululemon that was, I can't remember what they call it, you don't sweat in it, it's breathable. I would have brought more things like that if I'd known the weather was going to be that hot. But for the most part, I did really good with my clothes. My skincare was ridiculous. I brought way too much stuff and all the wrong stuff. I had severe breakouts when I was there. If you can see, I have a bit of a residual. I had 2 cysts I actually had to see a dermatologist for when I got back. They were that bad. So anyway, that's a whole other story. But my makeup, I did pretty good. So I'm going to share with you guys what worked and what didn't, and hopefully it might help you guys if you're going to be going on a similar trip or a road trip or something like that and kind of want to know what to take. So I did take 2 makeup bags. This one is my lug. It's a train case, which I really enjoy. And I also brought a clear one. And the reason why I brought 2 is this one I brought in my carry-on. So this was all my dry goods. And this was all my liquidy goods. And this one I packed in my suitcase. And then this one was in carry-on for the trip. So I personally love train cases. This one is the company's called Lug. It's meant for travel, super light. I like how it doesn't collapse. I've had some train cases and they collapse on me and drives me nuts. So this one has a top compartment where you can store all your brushes, which I did. So I did all my bigger brushes here and then all my smaller eye shadow brushes up there. I'm not going to show you those today because I don't have the best brushes. I just packed whatever. And then in the next section, this is the train compartment. So in here I was able to put smaller things, liners and pencils and all that kind of stuff, mascaras. And then you have a big compartment down here and then also a little clear plastic one. This is where I put like concealers, my beauty blenders, some things that were kind of small. So this bag actually ended up being a little bit annoying, flipping back and forth. So I'm still on the hunt for the perfect makeup travel bag. As much as I enjoy all these different compartments that work really well for tiny things, and the see-through, it seems like it would be good, but like I said, I was just constantly flipping and I was in a huge hurry. We wanted to get on the road early. Some days we traveled for 6 hours, so I had to hustle. And you know, you're sharing a bathroom. Some of the rooms didn't have a mirror except for in the bathroom, so I was just trying to whiz through my makeup as quickly as possible, and so flipping around kind of drove me a little bit crazy. But as far as it being a train case and not collapsing, that was a really nice feature. So the next thing I'm going to show you is foundations. So you may have seen in one of my recent videos, I ordered a bunch of stuff from IT Cosmetics, mostly because I wanted their CC cream, the 50 plus sunscreen, in a small travel size. This is actually a little bit too small for a foundation, but I thought this would work. I love this foundation so much. It makes my skin look really nice. It had the 50 sunscreen, so I didn't have to deal with that when we were on vacation because I knew it would be in the sun. However, I didn't end up using this. I don't even know if I used it once. Just before I left, I watched another YouTuber and she posted her cosmetic bag for travel, and she mentioned the Too Faced Peach Perfection foundation. And I have this and I love it, and it was just kind of in my drawer and I kind of forgot about it. But what she said, why she loved it so much for her holiday, is I think this claims to be a 16-hour wear, a 14-hour wear. And she said it was perfect for her trip because she just put it on in the morning, didn't have to fuss with her makeup once because she was always on the go. She was touring Scotland and didn't want to be messing around with makeup. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring mine, and this was amazing. Same as what she said, I put it on once in the morning. I didn't have to touch up or fuss or mess with my makeup. It lasted, it was perfect. There was no sunscreen, unfortunately, but that I just dealt with other ways, and I just loved this foundation for the holiday. It was no muss, no fuss, it was fabulous. One other thing that I took, this I got as a, I can't remember if it was a sample bonus or a point perk or whatever from Sephora, but it's the Drunk Elephant, the D Bronzi Anti-Pollution Sunshine Serum. I just loved it. I've just recently, when I've been doing long haul trips, I don't wear makeup on the plane. I just don't think it's good for your skin, and a lot of our flights are night flights, and I don't want to be sleeping with makeup. I already have skin issues and problems. The last thing I want to do is have clogged pores, which I did on this holiday, even though I tried everything in my power to not. I still did, but I think that was due to stress. We had a lot of stress going on, but anyway. This was amazing. It gave my skin this beautiful bronze glow, but it wasn't makeup, so I wore this on the plane for the first time, and I was like, oh my god, I love this stuff. So it was only a tiny little bottle, so I just used it very sparingly when I knew I wanted that beautiful bronzy look without foundation, and I also had to save it for my trip home because I wanted to wear it on the plane home as well. It is gorgeous, and it's also good for your skin. It's an anti-pollution product. I was going to buy it as soon as I got home, but you know what? This is so similar to my By Terry Lumi Serum, the Sunny Flash that I have. It's very, very similar, so I can't warrant buying another one. But as soon as I finish my By Terry, I am going to buy this in the full size because it was so fabulous. Then the next thing, and I apologize because I don't think this is available, but it is the Charlotte Tilbury Full Face Palette from the Nordstrom Anniversary Sale, and this was amazing. I just loved it. All Charlotte's full face palettes are amazing, so if you are interested in getting a full face palette to take on a trip, I highly, highly recommend them. This one in particular I really enjoyed because of the powder. Everybody raves about this pressed powder, and even in the palette, it is fantastic. I don't really wear powders, and I love this powder. I didn't get a lot of use out of the blushes. I tended for more of a bronzy look while I was away as opposed for the pinks and corals, but I did use the contour, and this was my highlighter almost every day, and it was a fantastic mirror if there was no mirror in the room except for in the bathroom, and if hubby was in there using it and I wanted to quickly get my makeup done, this was definitely a winner for me. But unfortunately I don't think it's for sale, but Charlotte has some other wonderful full face palettes that I own myself that are also great for travel. I think I should also probably mention I am wearing the full face of makeup that I have here with me today, and this tended to be the look that I wore almost every day, minus the false lashes. I didn't do false lashes when I was away. I had barely enough time to do the bare minimum, so there was no false lashes, but I'm wearing them today because I'm home and I want to wear them. The next thing is concealers, and thank God I brought them because, like I said, my skin was just a nightmare. So I had this little sample of the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Super Concealer. It's fantastic. I've had this for eons and it just lasts forever. And it was a sample. I can't remember how I got it. It was from Sephora. Some sort of deluxe sample. Loved it. Was amazing. I did bring my little sample of Bye Bye Under Eye from IT Cosmetics. I didn't use this once. I just didn't have time to be also doing under eye concealing. I just quickly did the bare basics of makeup, and under eye concealer was not a priority. And then I also have my little sample of IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Redness, and also this came in very handy with my breakout. So and then I've mentioned in other videos why I have this in a little sachet is my mom and I shared a big jar of it. She uses it for all over her face because she has rosacea, and I just use it for concealing. So I got the small little piece and she got the big tub. So that's what I use a lot. It is a fantastic concealer for blemishes. Now, eyes is next, and I mentioned to you guys that I was really into Nudestix, and I still am, and I bought a couple of their kits, and one of them in particular was the Mary Phillips Jet Setter kit, and it had some lip products and some face products and some eyes. And I also purchased just before I left the boho one as well, and that was another collection of eyes, lips, and cheeks. And I just grabbed a couple of the pencils that spoke to me before I left, and this is them. One of them is Rustique, this one is Angel, and this one is Immortal. So I kind of had a copper, a very pale pink, and a brown. And to be honest, I wasn't that impressed. I found them very difficult to work with. You just kind of pencil them on your eyes and you can just use your fingers and blend them out, but I found I was doing a lot of tugging around my eyes to make them blend, and then I tried using a brush, a blending brush, to blend them out, and I just found they were a little bit difficult to work with. And I feel really bad about that because I was really excited to use these. The lip and cheeks are amazing, but I really struggled with these pencils, and I found myself not really using them that much because I found them more work than just quickly using a powder. So the powder eyeshadow that I brought, I ended up just taking this little MAC quad, and inside here is 3 MAC shadows, but I used All That Glitters. I've mentioned to you guys before, this is one of my all-time favorite eyeshadows, favorite MAC shadow, but all around favorite eyeshadow is All That Glitters. And this one here is from Elate. I just recently posted a video from Elate Cosmetics. It's a local vegan, cruelty-free, all-natural line that's actually produced in Victoria, British Columbia, and I just love it. And this color, I can't remember the name, Quintessence, I believe it's called, and this was my go-to every day, and that's actually what I'm wearing today as well. So I'm wearing the Quintessence from Elate and a little bit of All That Glitters in the middle here just to give a little bit of shimmer, and it was so quick, so easy to use, and just gave me a nice little bit of a bronzy look. I did bring these other 2 colors at the bottom, but I didn't end up wearing those. I brought a little sample size of my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer because I really like it, and I knew there would be hot weather there, and I wanted to make sure my eyes were primed and that my eyeshadow would last. Now, eyeliners and brows. So I wanted to err on the size small, light, all that kind of stuff. What on earth was I thinking? This is my Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil. It is so... I know I wanted small and petite, but this is ridiculous. And I was constantly digging, trying to find this little guy. And there was a couple of days I couldn't find it in here. Because as I mentioned, I was trying to be super, super quick. This was way too small, and there was no spoolie. How big is the normal pencil? Like this big, and how light is it? I don't know why I thought I was saving myself by bringing this. It ended up causing more aggravation. I think this is meant to be in your purse as a little touch-up thing, not for travel. But anyway, this was my eyebrow pencil. Then I brought my 2 favorite liners, my Marc Jacobs Gel Black Eyeliner. This is a travel size, and I use this in my waterline for tight lining. And then this is my Stila Waterproof. That is amazing, and I love it. So this is a sample size of that, and it's a little bit more of a manageable size. And then this is my Anastasia Brow Gel. I mentioned to you guys before, I bought the full size and it wasn't as good as the sample. Go figure. So that's what I use for brows. As for mascara, I brought my Tarte primer, which I absolutely love, and I find if I don't use a primer, my lashes aren't as thick and full. So I brought this, and that's one of my favorites. And I was hoarding my little sample size of the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, which is my all-time favorite mascara, and it let me down. I don't know if it was this particular sample. I have no idea, but I wore it on the plane because all I wore on the plane going was this bronze and some mascara and lip. And even before we even arrived at the airport, my husband said, you've got all black specks under your eyes. So it had flaked. And then I wore it during the holiday and it melted on me. I don't know if it was because of the extreme heat, but I've worn this at home and I've never had that problem. But this was a brand new sample that I had just opened when we got there. So I don't know if it was messing around with me or what, because normally this is my absolute hands down favorite mascara, but it really let me down. Luckily, I also bought a backup of my Estee Edit, and I apologize this is no longer available, but I did bring it with me because this is one thing I always panic about, is not having mascara. If I was to lose one, or how many times have you opened a mascara and then the stopper breaks and then you have no mascara. So I always bring a backup because that's one thing I always have to make sure I have. And this guy let me down as well. So I had raccoon eyes pretty much the whole trip, but what can you do? So the next thing is I brought 2 bronzers, and this was very difficult for me because I have so many bronzers and there's quite a few of them that I really, really enjoy. So as I mentioned, I did have the bronzer that's in here, but it's a very, very cool tone, and I tend to use this one more as a contour. But I brought my Elate Cosmetics, this is a loose powder bronzer, and I just love it, and I'm wearing it today. It is a little on the messy side. As I mentioned, there's nothing to stop the powder from sifting, so when it's bouncing around, I had so much powder on the other side, and when you close it was just this big black smoke bomb. But it was worth it, and I really enjoyed this bronzer, so I brought that one with me. And of course, one of my Becca Gradient bronzers. I opted for the lighter one. This is the Sunrise. And as you can see, I've got a real dent in this because I just love it, because I thought I could also use this as an eyeshadow. I did use the highlight a lot as a brow bone, as well as just normal highlight. So this was a huge winner, and I did use this one quite a bit as well. Blushes. So I brought 2 blushes that were almost the same. One of them was the one from Elate, because this is my all-time favorite blush. It's a cream product. I should have opted when I was at Elate to buy the container that it goes in, but I did buy a big Z palette, and I put that in there with my single eyeshadow, but it was a little bit big and bulky to take on my trip when I was just going to have this in there and 1 or 2 eyeshadows. So I just kept it in the packaging it came with, and I did find that a bit annoying when I was away. As I mentioned, I was in a rush, and then trying to dig out these packets and all that was a bit of a pain, but it was worth it because I love that blush. And from Nudestix, this was also from the Mary Phillips. This is called In the Nude, and it's a brush on one side, which was a little handy, and a blush, a cream blush that you can use on eyes, lips, and cheeks. I don't use this one on my lips because there's an ingredient that I'm allergic to, but I did put it on my eyes and lips. I mean eyes and cheeks, and it did blend out quite nicely, but I preferred this one. This one just lasted a little bit longer, it was a little bit deeper, and I found it a little bit easier to work with. So this I wasn't as impressed with as some of the other Nudestix products, which then brings me to lips. I always take my MAC Prep and Prime Lip Erase. This goes with me everywhere. I have very pigmented lips and I like to wear nudes, so I like to mute my lips down, so I have a blank canvas, so I always have this with me. And I brought 2 of my favorite lip lacquers from Marc Jacobs. This one is Preach, I believe, and this one, I can't remember the name, I'll link it below. I didn't use them once, even these are my favorite, and you know what, these I shouldn't have brought because they're quite big and bulky. Not super heavy, but they could have stayed at home. I gravitated to this little guy. I did a full review on this. It's the Nudestix Gel Lip and Cheek Balm. I just use them on lips. And this one is an Elate, Tay and J Mama. I didn't really use J Mama much. I did bring it anyway, but Elate, you can see it's almost a nub. And I've actually even ordered a replacement because you can see how much I've used in these guys. This one is getting down there. So I just had these on repeat. I just really, really enjoyed these. Just fantastic. I'm a little unsure if this would be considered a liquid. I've had lipsticks taken away from me. I've had mascaras taken away from me. So I was a little concerned. So I did end up putting these in my check bag as a liquid because I just never know. They're never consistent, you know what I mean? This is one of my favorite lipsticks. It's from Pat McGrath, and this one is Valletta. I wore it once. I thought I would wear it a lot because it's super long wearing, but I just gravitated towards those Nudestix because they were just kind of a bit of color. They're gel, nice and moisturizing, comfortable on lips, and I just gravitated towards them. So this probably, I didn't need it. I did also bring my Elate lip gloss. I think I wore this once as well. It wasn't super long lasting. It isn't particularly hydrating and not very pigmented. So I don't know why I brought this one. But my other gloss that ended up being on repeat is from Bite. This is from the French Press collection, their coffee collection. I mentioned to you guys I bought it, but because there weren't testers in the store, I hadn't tried it. And I thought it might be a little dark. Oh, I love this. It is so hydrating on the lips. I'm going to put it on for you right now. I don't really like the coffee smell though. I know some people said they don't mind it, but I do find it a bit annoying. It doesn't linger for a long time, but I don't like it. It smells like instant coffee, like a bit, I don't really like it. But anyway, this one is Salted Caramel, and I wore it so much. I actually kept this one in my crossbody bag for when I went out checking out the town and everything, just to make sure I had a color with me, and it was just super easy and comfortable to put on. I was a little concerned that these Nudestix might melt because it was extremely hot when we were there. They were having a heat wave. This was just amazing. I mean, you guys know Bite Beauty are just amazing lip products. They do lips really, really well. They just don't have a whole lot of colors for me. I find that a lot of their colors are very deep and bold. They don't have a whole lot of nudes, and what nudes they do have, I find, are a little bit too cool tone for me and sometimes go gray. But this was a nice, warm, peachy brown color, and I just loved it. So I wore this a ton. Nail polish. Oh yeah, I had grand plans. I was going to be doing my nails when we were on vacation. I brought my Estee ballet slippers, which I told you guys is my absolute favorite, and I wore this for most of the trip. It probably lasted 12 days. I did them the night before we left, and I took it off midway through my trip. So it held its own for a very long time, but I didn't redo them. And I also brought a quick dry because I thought, oh, if I'm going to do my nails, then I'll just do a quick dry on top. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. And they're heavy and glass bottles. I don't know what I was thinking. Who does a manicure when they're on vacation? And last but not least, fragrance. I mentioned to you guys my little splurge. I got the Tom Ford Soleil Orchid. It's just so gorgeous. So I did bring this with me, and I bought a perfume when I was there. We were in Italy, and I went in. There was a lot of cosmetic outlet stores there and perfume stores, and I bought one. It's from Salvatore Ferragamo. I don't know how to pronounce it. It was for 20 euros. It was a full 100 ml bottle, and it was more like a body spray, that kind of scent. I ended up wearing that most of the holiday. But anyway, I'm not supposed to be buying perfumes, but I did. And I alternated with this one as well, which is one of my favorite summertime fragrances. And then I did bring 2 little sample sizes, 3 actually, also all Tom Fords. I never wore them. It was just too much hassle. I just grabbed what was easiest, and that big bottle that I purchased in Italy was just quick and easy just to quickly spray on. Like I said, I had very little time to get ready. It was go, 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 go. And I wanted to be ready as fast as possible so we could get on the road and explore. So I didn't want to be wasting time doing makeup. So this was the makeup I wore pretty much every day while we were away. I alternated a couple things here and there. So almost everything was great except for the nail polish. I should have left these at home, and the Nudestix eye pencils were a little bit of a letdown. But other than that, I think I did pretty good. And I packed pretty light considering how I normally pack. I'm pretty proud of myself, and now I need to work on my skincare for next time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Bye!